I have the wonderful Jeanette Cheah, CEO and co-founder of HEX with us today. I would love for you to share kind of your thoughts on the state of entrepreneurship and innovation within the university or higher education sector at the moment. Like, what's happening? What do you think they're doing well? Is there anything you want to be doing more of?
That is an awesome question. I think one of the things I notice is that when people think about entrepreneurship in the higher ed sector, there's a little bit of hesitance thinking that we're trying to teach all students how to be founders and build businesses. And that's actually not the case at all. The way I think about entrepreneurship and innovation training is that it's giving these essential capabilities. It's the ABCs of what a future knowledge worker actually needs to know. So I think that we're seeing some universities absolutely rock this space. They are investing in their students. We've seen funds being raised internally. We've seen accelerator programs being launched. But what we're trying to do is actually embed the entrepreneurship and innovation stuff into the core of the experience. Like, I want every student to have that experience because I think it economically empowers them. So, I think it's going well. Can we do more? Absolutely.
Yeah. And you've moved from a global mobility program to start, and then through COVID kind of saw some major changes, and now you're kind of working more within the education curriculum. Can you give us a little bit of an overview on kind of where HEX is at and kind of what you're delivering for students?
Sure. So we've been around since 2017, and we actually were known as the Hacker Exchange at that time. And the first thing we ever did was run a 2-week innovation program to Silicon Valley with 7 students. And we took them to this innovation hotspot, taught them how to build a startup, found them in places with big tech companies and big founders and exciting things. And after we launched in Silicon Valley, Tel Aviv, Singapore, Melbourne, and Austin, Texas, which was not happening because of the lockdowns, we ended up building out HEX Ed, which is translating all of that awesome content that we had from the in-person programs to a digital platform, which made it much more accessible. It's made it curriculum-based, as you said. So what this means is twofold. We've got high school level curriculum assessments. So this means that HEX online programs can actually replace year 11 and year 12 subjects, which is awesome. And also we've got AQF7 level accreditation by one of Australia's best universities. And that means the transcript is globally transferable. So this means that really this kind of education can be accessed by students all around the world, no matter what stage of education they're in. It's a real pathway into higher ed. And I can see a situation where a student in India could do a HEX program online, receive a transcript from an Australian university, and then take it to maybe a uni in New Zealand, and just sort of see that kind of real global community being built through these new models.
So epic. The last question I have for you is, what do you think makes like a good, whether it's like mobility program or dynamic piece of curriculum, like what do you think students are really wanting from an education provider when it comes to their kind of teaching curriculum and student experience?
Sure.
It's a big one, I know, but
one of our core values is seriously fun, and that's deliberate for us because we know that we're fighting for our students' attention the same way that every other media and retail company out there is fighting for their attention. And I know that they have to go through some form of formal education, but when it comes to their choices, we kind of call it hiding the vegetables in the meat sauce approach. So we make sure that the experience is immersive in that there's interaction available. We're treating them like the sophisticated digital consumers that they are, and not just a whole like group of random people who are faceless. So we want to make sure that they're seen as people, they're seen as digital consumers. The attention and the quality of the content that they get is in line with what they might get in other places that they choose to spend their time. And in terms of, I guess, bringing the fun stuff from in-country onto digital programs, I think a lot of it comes down to the relationships that are built on those programs. So we are really big believers in either cohort-based or semi-synchronous style kind of learning. Social and human touch points is still essential, even if there's digital learning. And we're very big at kind of bridging, where they are today with where they're going to be tomorrow. So we're very much about what's the next step? How do we prepare them to be exponential contributors to the economy, and just get them really ready?
I love that. I am such a big fan of what you and the team at HEX are doing. I just think that it's exactly what students are asking for. So this is a little plug for you guys. Like, if anyone out there is kind of looking for some innovative programs, like, I think that HEX is the #1 place for people to be talking.
Thank you very much. Study abroad, digital, curriculum aligned, and fun. We got you.
Fun. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks. High five.